Hello everyone, welcome to another race at the Division 3 Championship Series here at SRL. Today we're racing at the Imola circuit, where it is a very tough circuit to race on to keep it within the track limits to avoid getting a track limit penalty. So let's go through the grid today. Nolan Mitch in the Mercedes, D-Mac in the Ferrari, VTEC in the Haas, Sportmod in the McLaren. Razi currently a really good championship lead at the moment with 214 points. He is 24 points ahead of Quinna. Rejet, who took the last win of the season in the Aston Martin. Connor in the Ferrari. Brother Adam, a new face on the grid. He has been demoted from Division 2 to Division 3. So TGW in the Mercedes as well. Quinna currently second in the championship standings in the McLaren, definitely aiming for a good result today. Nerdy Average Gamer in the Williams, back from Mexico where he has been on vacation. So welcome back Nerdy on the grid. Hopefully he can get a good result in. Lunatic Kai, who has shown an amazing pace in the last race at Jeddah. Unfortunate for him, he had a moment which costed him the win. Evan Trucker in the Red Bull, so only one Red Bull on the grid today. So a few drivers diving out on their outlaps at the moment. A few drivers choosing the mediums. So is Nolan in the Mercedes. He is definitely trying to go for an alternate strategy. As I said before, it's a really tough circuit to keep it within the track limits. Get a good valid lap, a clean lap in qualifying is quite challenging. So let's see how that plays out. No Limit just starting his first lap of this session. He's going for a run on those mediums. Where can he put himself into on those tires? So let's stay on board with the Mercedes driver. He had some incidents in the first races, but we all know that Nolan has some pace. It just doesn't want to come out just yet. A 25-0 in Sector 1 for Nolan. It's looking good for him so far. Running a little wide there. He should have got through those apex a little bit quicker, but let's see how. This is one of the tricky spots of the circuit to make a mistake, to go on throttle too easy and too quick. No Limit switching into third gear, switching back to fourth really quickly. He is going to set his first lap now. Nolan Mitch is going through the last corner and is now going to stop finish. Nolan Mitch on the medium tires, a 1:17.4 for him. Not a bad lap on those medium tires. And Sport Matt will be the next one to cross the line. No invalidation for him so far in the McLaren. McLaren is fighting for the overall constructorship standings. So let's see. Sportman 4 seconds behind, starting another lap. And Corner starting another lap as well. And Lunatic goes to a 15.5 on the softs, which is 1.8 seconds quicker than Nerdy Average Gamer and Nolan Mitch. So a good lap from Lunatic. Really strong lap from him. And Emma Trucker just starting his hot lap, so is Quinna. I don't think Quinna is going to finish his first lap. He's going to try for another one. Brother Adam is on the medium tires. Let's see what he can do. He has been demoted from tier 2. What time can he put himself into? And sadly for him, he got an invalidation, so he's diving into the pits. So we're going to stay on board with a Williams driver. Rejat really quick around all circuits in the last 2 races. So Rejat is definitely a driver to aim on, to keep an eye on. He has some raw pace, especially in the race conditions. Really attacking those corners nicely. He's keeping it clean and within the track limits. So Rejat on the softs, what can he do? Can he surprise us all with a good lap time? He is going through the last corner, keeping a good traction out of that corner, and he goes quick as well at 15.0. What a lap from Rejat! That's just an amazing lap, an amazing banker lap. Rejat is definitely picking up some pace after the start of this season. The improvements of Rejat are just insane. In the Aston Martin, he's really dragging that team up. And Emma Trucker 2.4 seconds away. Let's have a look at the current constructor standings. McLaren team currently leading with 317 points. Ahead of the Aston Martin team, which is, I think, 39 points away from the McLaren team, and Rejat is on his own. So, and the McLaren boys are both on working as a team today. Sportman has had his fastest lap on the medium tires, so a really impressive start from him. And Rossi, the current championship leader, currently sitting in P10. No time set for him. So he's definitely aiming for a good lap time on those mediums. He's going on his out lap, just warming up his tires. Let's see, GGW in the Mercedes on the soft tires. Let's see what he can do. He has been demoted from tier 2 to tier 3 last season, so what can he do? He runs a little wide, but he kept it on track and sets up purple sector 1. So DGW is on a good lap so far. DGW, a really fast left-hander, keeping it clean. Good attacking from TGW, the other Mercedes. He's a teammate of Nolan. I'm just going to switch to a party. Okay. And TGW puts himself into P6, 1.5 seconds away from the Mercedes team. So a good lap from the Mercedes driver, but still not good enough to compare himself to the top 3. So TGW needs to have some work done. And Brother Adam puts himself into P7, 1.6 seconds away from the top as well. And Rossi on those mediums is going through the last sector. And he's picking up the last corners right now. Let's see where he can end up. The current championship leader in the Alpine. What is he going to do? Picking up the DRS right now and going for a 116.1. And that puts him in P5 on the medium tire. So that's a good lap from the current championship leader. Very good to see from the championship leader that he is carrying away the Alpine team. And at the end we have all the other drivers making their pit stop for the last run of this qualifying session at the Imola circuit. I'm just really excited how the others will pay out. Connor, VTech and DMAC have not completed that qualifying, so they will start outside the top 10. And Rossi is going for another run. I don't think he is, because he just backed off on his usual pace. So Rossi is definitely diving in the pits after this lap to maybe try to get a run on those soft tires. With only 7 minutes remaining in this qualifying session, we have Lunatic, Rejat and Aaron Trucker diving out for another fast lap. And I think Lunatic is just gambling for a really good run. He needs to make up 5/10s to Rejat. And look how close the midfield is. Between Nerdy and Rossi, but Rossi did his time on the mediums, so I'm really curious what Rossi can do. Does those extra session in higher tiers be good enough for Rossi to get himself into the top 3 at least on qualifying? Rossi has not been a really good qualifier so far this season, but his race consistency is just amazing. Not making any mistakes, which really got himself a lot of points. But let's think about with Lunatic. Lunatic is really attacking those corners, really taking the maximum of those curves, and really attacking those corners nicely. Look at him, really dragging his car around the circuit. And Lunatic is 1.5 up on his usual time. Let's see, can he improve himself to a good lap time? Really a little bit wide there, but still keep it within the track limits. And I think this is a little bit of oversteer, a little too late on the brakes, which cost him a small amount of time. Oh, an invalidation. That's unfortunate. And Rejat starting his hot lap as well, and so is Quinner. So we're going to stay on board with the McLaren driver. Oh, Quinner gets already into the gravel, and he's now making place for Rejat. So we're going to stay on board with the current pole sitter, Rejat. Will he improve his time in sector 1? Rejat is currently not improving his time. Will he be able to improve in his usual time? His first lap time was an amazing lap. Will he be even... Oh, it runs wide. No, I don't think this is going to be the lap for him. Oh, and Rejat is probably not going to be able to improve. No, he's 4/10 down on his usual time, so no improvement from Rejat. So Rejat will probably be going into the pits, and so is Lunatic. And let's stay on board with Quinna. No, Quinna's not improving as well, and so is Nerdy. And is Rossi improving? Let's see, the first sector, 3/10 up already in the first sector on his usual time. So let's see what Rossi can do on those soft tires. He is currently the championship leader, has some pace to show us. And Rossi switching back to Turkey, really attacking those corners, and he is currently 7/10 up on his usual time, but he needs more. Rossi needs more time to improve himself. Let's see, Rossi into the last corners. What can he do on those soft tires? Rossi getting it really clean throughout the corners, and Rossi is going for a 1:15.0, and he is 1 second up, but not good enough for pole position. 25 thousandths away from the time of Rejat. And Nerdy Average Gamer is also on his way for an improvement. Let's see, in Sector 2, what can he do? 2 tenths up on his first time. And he runs a little wide, but he got the traction on the right moment. So, no big issues for him as it stands. Let's see if he can go through these last corners. Keeping it clean. Nerdy Average Gamer easy on the throttle, and he did. Nerdy Average Gamer is going to cross the line with a 1:15.6, and that puts him in P5. 2 laps on those soft tires, and Brother Adam is going to cross the line. He's also improving by 1/10 and goes 6th fastest. In the AlphaTauri, also 2 lap old softs. So Brother Adam in P6, and I think he will stay it unless Sportmat on the softs is going to set an amazing time as well. So the front runners are diving out late moment to get a good lap in. It's all about this last lap of qualifying between Rejet, Lunatic and Quinner. And Rejet is the first driver. I think Lunatic is the first driver to go on his flying lap. So let's stay on board with the other Williams driver. Lunatic has proved himself to be a very quick driver, as in this tier 3 he was leading the race at Jeddah for half of the race, and he's really quick. So let's see if he can grab himself those 5/10s he need. He has a Mercedes in front, but that Mercedes is backing off nicely. So Lunatic still continuing on his stint. And Lunatic is really attacking those corners lightly. Let's see what he can do in Sector 2. Is he improving on his usual time? It looks very quick so far. Lunatic Kai. Is he improving? He is 6 tenths up on his usual time. Can he get into the 1:14s? Lunatic Kai is really flying on this track. Lunatic into the last corners. No invalidation is a good move for him. No, he's keeping it within the track limit. So this will be the pole time of Lunatic Kai. 1:14.6. What a lap! What a lap, Lunatic. That's insane. And Rejet goes 2nd fastest with a 1:14.9. Rossi into P3. Quina in P4, Nerdy in P5, Brother Adam in P6, Sportman in P7, but he is still 7 tenths up on his usual time. So let's see what Sportman can do in those last laps. Can he gain himself a few positions on the grid? Sportman now going to cross the line with a 1:15.3, and that puts him in front of his teammate. So a good lap from the McLaren driver, so he's out qualifying his teammate. TGW is currently not improving, improving by a little tenth, so he needs to have a good last sector to at least gain him. So he needs to make up 7 tenths in the last sector. Can he do that? TGW is going to cross the line with a 1:16.2, and that's good for P8. And this was our qualifying session of today. Lunatic with having an amazing pole lap, 1:14.6. That's a really good lap. Rejet as well, a really good lap. And Razi is sticking in P3 in the Alpine with 4 tenths away from Lunatic. And now it all comes to race pace. So this was our qualifying session of today. Lunatic taking that pole position and at an extra point. Rejet into P2, Rossi in P3, Sportmat in 4, Quina in P5, Nerdy Average Gamer in 6, Brother Adam in 7, TGW in 8, Ammon Trucker 9, Nolan into P10, finishes off the top 10, starting on those mediums as well. D-Mac in 11, serving his quali ban penalty. VTech and Connor has crashed out. So we're definitely going to see a great battle at the front between Lunatic and Rejet. It seems to be a dry session in the race. Look at the sky. It's blue and blue. So no skies at all. So really great to see. It's going to be a dry race. So what will be the fastest strategy? I think if you start on those soft tires, the fastest strategy will be the soft mediums. But it will be a very enjoyable one to watch. Which driver can make himself on the soft medium strategy? It's going to be very interesting, with Lunatic and Rejet and Razi definitely on some flying setups. So let's see which driver can manage their tires the best. And I'm getting an info, we have wet race at the end. So this is great to see. Lunatic in pole, Rejet in P2, Rossi the championship leader into P3, 4 in the P4 is Sportmat, Quina in P5, so Quina wants to get past as quick as possible to get the overtake on Rossi for the championship. Nerdy Average Gamer in 6, Brother Adam in 7, TGW in P8, Ammon Trucker 9, Nolan on the mediums in P10. Let's see which tires are the rest of the grid choosing. They're all choosing for the medium tires outside the top 10. So will they go till the end? Will they go for the one stop? Medium soft is doable, if we may believe LT Raka. So Connor's also starting on the mediums, currently sitting in the last place. All drivers will get points if they finish the race. So everyone's fighting for every point, so no need to make a mistake. There's no room for mistakes here, because we have some championship battles on our way. Let's see if Rossi can keep himself in front. It's going to be a little gamble by calculating this, but Rossi is 24 points in front of Quina and is 25 points in front of Rejet. So Rossi needs to finish in front of Rejet and Quina to take the championship, the driver championship at least. With his team Alpine he needs to do a lot more, but let's see where all the drivers are lining up now. They have finished the formation lap and they're all lining up. And everyone is getting ready now for the start of this race with Lunatic Kai, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and away we go for the round 11 in the Division 3 Championship Series. Lunatic has an amazing start. Rejet in right behind Sportmat, already in P3. What an amazing start from the McLaren driver, already on the outside now of Rossi, but Rossi keeps in front and Quina retakes P4. So Lunatic, Rejet and Rossi, the top three have not been switched. So Quina still in P4, Sportmat in P5. So Quina has overtaken his teammate. TGW won 2 positions. Nerdy Average Gamer lost 1. Evan Trucker won 1. And Corner already winning 3 positions out of the start. So a good start from the Ferrari driver. And let's hop back to the front. Lunatic currently leading in front of Rejet. Rejet is really closing in. Look at him, really attacking those corners nicely, having a really good exit and really trying to pick that slipstream. And he's keeping right behind Lunatic. Needs to have a good exit on this one. And he's losing 2/10 in those 2 last corners. And this will not be enough for Rejet to get the overtake done. But Rossi, look at Rossi, he's 3/10 away from Rejet. So this top 3 will be battling probably the whole race. Very interesting to see all those drivers that close at the start, after the start of the Grand Prix. But look at Quina. Quina is closing in as well. 5/10 away, so he is joining the battle, and so is Sportmat. So the McLaren teams are definitely in this race. At this moment, at least. And Nerdy Average Gamer is closing in to TGW. Oh, TGW losing it. TGW is round. Oh, watch out. TGW has lost it. Really, I mentioned it in quali. One of the tricky spots of the circuit is that corner where TGW lost it. Well, let's have a look at the front. 3/10. Here's the gap. 4/10 now after that exit. Will this be enough for... But look at Rossi and Rejet, so close. Rossi created himself a gap of 1 second ahead of Quina. What type racing between the top 3? Look at Rossi. Rossi really attacking those corners nicely and much better traction out of those corners. So he's closing in to 3/10 of a second. And Rossi gets a good exit again. Where will Rossi get the overtake done on Reach? Oh, Rossi has a moment. Rossi has a moment and gets overtaken by Quina. Oh no, this is not what Rossi wants. Rossi wants to stay in front for the championship. And now the other McLaren Sportman is all over him. Look at on the inside line, Sportman is braking late, getting alongside, but Rossi leaving him space and keeping himself in front. Hopefully he didn't pick up any damage from that. He has still picked up the DRS, so he is still within the DRS range of Quina. Look at Rejet. Rejet going side by side for position 1 and gets the overtake down for P1. Rejet moves himself into P1 and Lunatic losing a lot of ground there to Rejet. And VTech has spun. Or did he retire in the pits? I think he just retired in the pits, so unfortunate for him. But Rejet is taking the lead, and that's all what matters in the Aston Martin. Another strong race from him so far. We're 4 laps on the way on this Imola circuit, and Rejet is again showing his improvements and already putting himself 8/10 up compared to Lunatic. Well, Quina is 1.2 seconds away from Lunatic, so Quina needs to step up his game because he has Rossi right behind him. Rossi wants to get past the title contender Quina, and Rejet is just looking very good right now, and if it stays like this, the race will be going till the last. The championship will be going to the last race. Rossi on the outside now of Quina and gets the move down. Late braking from Rossi, but he makes the move even before the corner. So Rossi's into P3 again. He moved himself up into P3 and is now looking to close the gap to Lunatic. Lunatic already within 6/10 of Rejet, so the grid is really close at the top. Quina and Sportmap both taking a penalty, so that's not gonna help the McLaren team. And a little bit further behind we have G-Mac and Nolan Mitch having a battle on those mediums as well. What will the Ferrari driver do? We're going to keep an eye on the front runners, but it's looking very good for D-Mac in the Ferrari. Reserving again this week. He was a really competitive driver in Tier 4 last season. Sadly, he isn't able to join every race, so we have counted him as a reserve. And he is really looking very good out of that corner. He gets a good exit and he is within those 4/10 gap, so he will definitely have a go into turn 1. Nolan Mitch right rear is already flashing, so he's saving up some ERS, and T-Mac gets the move in turn 1 and moves himself up to P8, winning 3 positions. Solid start from the Ferrari driver. And oh, what happened to Lunatic? Lunatic lost it. Lunatic has lost it. And that will promote Rossi to P2. Oh my, did he lose his front wing? Yes, Lunatic lost his front wing. Oh my. That's so unfortunate for Lunatic. He has some amazing pace, but he has damage. Just going to send a small message. To a few drivers. And Quina is at the back of Rossi, his championship contender. Let's have a look on this close battle. Rossi's red lights already flashing. So is he low on the ERS? Yes, he is low on the ERS. So let's see if Quina can close up on the championship leader. Rossi is losing a little bit of time to Rejet. And as we've seen before, your quali pace doesn't matter if your race pace is shit. Quina is in the DRS range of Rossi, picking up his DRS and his ERS deployment 6/10 away. And 3/10 away now. The DRS is really strong around the Imola circuit. And Quina has a moment. And what are the tire situations at this stage of the race? 7-lap old softs. When will they go in? For some fresh tires. And brother Adam has already pitted. Look at Quina. Quina within 4/10, 3/10 of a second, running a little wide, picking up another warning for that probably. And his teammate Sportman is all over him right now. And Sportmat takes another penalty. Let's have a look at the penalty situations. Quina taking 3 seconds. Sportmat having 6 seconds. Connor having 6 seconds. And brother Adam having 3 seconds at the back of the grid. So the McLaren boys need to pick up their pace and get past the front runners as quick as possible to clear themselves out of that 3-second time penalty gap. Look at Quina on the inside now on Rossi. Quina goes for the late move and gets the move done on Rossi. And Quina moves up to P2, and this is what he wants. He wants to stay in front of Rossi to get himself points compared to him. If Quina can put himself in front of Rossi, that is all what matters for him. But still, he has a 3-second time penalty and Rossi has none. So he needs to clear himself a gap of 3 seconds to be safe. Still, we have a lot of laps to go, so anything can happen. And let's head back to a few other battles. D-Mac and Nolan Mitch are still having a battle on those medium tires for P7 on the grid. And Quina picking up another time penalty. 6 seconds now for him. Oh, Quina, you're destroying your race by those penalties. And Nolan Mitch is defending, and his red lights at the back of his car are already flashing, so that means his ERS is really low. And will that give an opportunity to D-Mac to get the overtake? If you see ERS right now, he can have the move done, but DRS is strong enough. Will he be able to get the move done into turn 1? Look at the camera view on the inside now. He gets the move done. D-Mac has calculated that move in for P7. So D-Mac is currently flying on this track as well. No penalties for him. So the current, I think we have someone already calculating the championship at the moment. Razi 240, Rita 219, and Quina 213 life points. Don't know who has purple lap, so potentially a +1 points there. And don't forget, Lunatic has +1 as a pole sitter. Thank you, Frederick, for doing the maths there. And Rejat is still continuing. Razi is in the pits, and so is Sportmat in lap 11, switching to the medium tire compound. And is he serving his drive-through? No, he's not. I don't know what happened there, but Razi, where does he come out? I think TGV is going to stick right in front of him. And Razi is now going out of the pits with Sportmat right behind him. And when will the others go? Nolan and D-Mac has switched positions again. So D-Mac is now behind him. Did D-Mac make a mistake? He didn't make a pit stop yet. Oh, runs a little wide there, taking the outside of the track. Hopefully he didn't pick up any warning for that. If he did go off throttle nicely, then he wouldn't. Rossi is in P8, really close to Sportmat. We're 12 laps racing, and we have such a close grid. It's going to be very close. When will the top drivers make that pit stop? Evan Trucker on the softs as well, still continuing his stint. D-Mac still right behind Nolan. And Nolan makes a pit stop. Quina is still continuing. And how many penalties has Quina? 9 seconds of penalties, so that's not gonna help him at the end of this race. So this will be a very hard race for him. But we all know that the top have not made their pit stop yet. What can Rejet do? What can he do on the soft tire compound? He is 20.9 seconds away from the rest of the field. And what can Lunatic do? Lunatic on the mediums as well, at the back of Sportmat. Oh, Lunatic is back at the front, the virtual front actually. He has made a little spin and no penalties for him. Runs a little wide, probably picked up a warning for that, but he is still continuing. And on those medium tires, what can he do compared to the driver's Sportmat? And Rejat is still continuing on his lap, so really impressive from the Aston Martin driver to keep his tires alive for 15-17 laps. 15-16 laps. Amazing. So Rejat, what is he doing? Is he going for a pit stop in this lap? Let's have a look. No, he's still going to continue on those soft tires. And what is the gap to the first pit stoppers? Quina in P4, 24.8 seconds away, and Rejat is still keeping. He's losing a few tenths out of that corner, so he's losing a little amount of grip compared to Quina now, but losing 2-3 tenths now in a sector. So I think this is the moment for Rejat to make his pit stop. Oh, Quina has a moment, so he downgraded to 24.7 again. And I think to make a safe pit stop, you need to have 23 seconds. So let's see if Rejat is going for his pit stop right now. I think he should, using these old tires, with Quina making some small mistakes on track. I think this is the moment, Rejat, to make your pit stop. No, still no pit stop for him. Still continuing on those soft tires. Still thinking that he can gain time on Quina. And Quina runs wide and gets into the gravel. And that will allow Rossi to close up. And Rossi lost a lot of time. And so did Quina. D-Mac is at the back of MN Trucker. MN Trucker's in the pits. So this will give D-Mac, Quina and Rossi some free space. This is going to be very, very interesting to when Rejat makes his pit stop. He's currently at the end of sector 2 and going into sector 3 now is Rejat. Will he now make his pit stop? 17 lap old on those soft tires, which is pretty impressive from the Aston Martin driver. But I think his soft tires are dead by now. So yes, he is going in now. Rejat into the pits to switch to the medium tire compound. And Quina is now in the lead. D-Mac in P2, Rossi in P3, and Rejat is going for another run on the softs. What is he going? Rejat is going for a 2-stop. Why would you do this strategy? That's a very interesting one, to be fair. But D-Mac still needs to. The only driver who haven't made a pit stop yet is in P2 in the Ferrari. And Rossi gets the move done on D-Mac for P2. So Rossi is now going to close the gap on Quina. Look at Rejat. Rejat is close behind, but on the fresh soft tires. I'm not sure why he made the choice to get the soft tire compound, actually. Really strange choice from Rejat. And Rejat probably gambling for those wet conditions actually at the end of the race. I think that's the thing for Rejat. but he is losing a small amount of time behind D-Mac. But will D-Mac continue on his current stint? I think he will, because he's waiting for the rain as well. Look at Rejat really closing into D-Mac and picking up the slipstream and the DRS and getting the overtake done. Of course, on the fresh shaft he has the better traction, and he's now 3.3 seconds away from the leader, and within the DRS of Quinne, he has a penalty as well. So we will have a look on Nerdy Average Gamer. Nerdy Average Gamer is at the back of Sportmap, who has a penalty. So let's have a look at this battle. And Nerdy has some small problems out of that corner. As I've mentioned before in qualifying, that is one of the trickiest parts of the track, to get it right and to get on throttle on the right moment. So it's going to be a very hard task for Nerdy to close into Sportmap right now, because Nerdy, and look at Rejat, gets the move done. So look at that speed of Rejat. The straight line speed of Rejat is very amazing. But of course he has the soft tires, so he needs to make another pit stop. But if there's rain incoming, then if he's gambling for that rain at the end of the race, then it's gonna be a really big gamble, because he needs to make another pit stop. Just in case, I would have changed to the medium tires, just in case. But of course, Rejat is really shaking up and closing into Quinne now on track. 1.9 seconds away from Quinne. Rejat sets the fastest lap of the race at 1:16.6, which is a very quick time to be on in this tier. Rejat on the fresh off tires is really not closing into Quinne, but we all know that Quinne has a penalty, but so does Rejat. Let's have a look. Penalty situations are 9 seconds for Quinne and 3 seconds for Rejat. Sportman having 15 seconds of penalties, which is a lot, a bit too much to get yourself in a good position at the end of the race. Let's have a look. Rejat is 1.5 seconds away from Quinne, so he's closing in on the soft tire and Quinne's on the mediums. So Quinne definitely found some pace during the race. Definitely upped his game to get himself some time compared to the others. And Quinne had a big moment out of that corner, so this will mean that Razi and Rejat are definitely closing into him. And Rejat is closing in within 7 tenths now. We have a battle for the lead on track. Let's have a look. Rejat is really closing in, so Quinne needs to water his chest and be afraid of the attack of Rejat incoming in this lap, or maybe the next one. Rejat definitely has the overspeed. 4 tenths away, still 4 tenths. This is the strongest sector of Quinna, and Quinna gets another time penalty. 12 seconds for Quinna. He's really struggling under pressure from Rejat. Well, he knows that Rejat needs to make another pit stop. And it's getting darker and darker. And it's starting to rain right now, I think. I saw some rainy tiny things. Yes, it's starting to rain, guys. So we're going to prepare ourselves for some intermediate tires in a few laps of time. Look at this. And maybe, if my information is correct, it's going to be full wet at the end of the race. But will this be good enough for Intis, or will there be wet tires used? But Rejat retakes the lead, so Rejat will be happy about this rain. Rejat definitely happy about the rain. Rossi is also going to be happy about the rain because he is on the mediums, so that one stop still works for him. He's 3.3 seconds away from the rest of the field, but he has no penalty, so he needs to close up to Rejat, who has a 3-second time penalty. But then again, race pace in the dry is so different compared to the race pace in the wets. And Connor already switching to the intermediates. That's really soon. That's really early from Connor, so he will be definitely sliding all the way. It's really too early, Connor. You can't do this. The track is still dry, look at that. And Quinna is... look at Connor really struggling on the Intis. Getting lapped by Rejat. And also going to be lapped by Quinna after this. On the Intis, a bit too early to gamble for the Intis. Oh, Quinna, a bit of a moment. Still within 8 tenths, so in the DRS range. Look at Lunatic and both Williams going side by side. This is going to be very epic, but Lunatic gets moved on and nearly lets him past. So Lunatic on the 17 lap old medium tires, definitely willing to get those inters when it's possible for him, because he's running on 17 lap old medium tires. So it might be at the end a very good choice for Rejat to switch to the soft tires, to do the soft intermediate strategy probably. But Rossi is within 2.5 seconds away from Quinna. So Rossi's picking up the pace. Rossi definitely picking up some pace. It was 3.5 seconds, now it is 2.6. And Nolan Mitch switching to the intermediate tires as well. A little bit too quick as well. Look at the track, guys. It's still dry. It's not raining enough for the Inters. Only put inters on when it starts raining and you feel that the grip is sliding away from the back of your car. Then it's time for the inters. Nerdy Average Gamer is still right behind Lunatic. And a good question from Lancy: will it get wet quick enough? I'm not sure. We have 5 laps remaining, 6 laps, and it's still pretty dry on track, to be fair. So I'm not sure if it will be raining enough for the inters. And Rejat will be trilling right now because he has... Oh, And look at the difference on the traction. So the track is getting wetter. Look at Nerdy's. The traction of Nerdy is degrading. So let's have a look. The track is getting a little wetter now. So if the track is getting wetter, Rejet is in the problems, because with only four laps to go, Quina may choose to stretch it till the end, and Rejet needs to make another pit stop. And I think Rossi is still going to cruise it till the end, probably sticking with Quina. And will he be claiming the win? It's going to be about a driver championship in the driver tier 3 with 5 laps remaining. The track is getting more wet. Will Rossi be able to claim that driver championship? He needs to finish in front of Quina and Rejet to get it, because that will make it 25 points plus for Rossi. But Rossi will definitely finish in front of Quina, but I don't think the track is getting more wet. And Nerdy Average Gamer gets moved on Lunatic, and Lunatic is in the wall, and we have a virtual safety car being deployed. Oh, that's very unfortunate. Oh, and Quina is backing off to Sportmat, and Rossi is re-overtaking Sportmat. Oh, Rossi, what happened to him? What happened to Rossi? He's 9 seconds behind, and look at Rejet, he's pitting right now under the virtual safety car conditions. And he's switching to the medium tires. And Rossi is switching to some tires as well. What is Rossi doing? Spotmat in the pits as well. And Quina is just continuing. And I think if Quina, he has 12 seconds of penalties. Rejet has 3 seconds. Oh guys, a big gamble. Oh, but look at the track. Look at the track. The track is getting more wet. So Quina has a very big look. Oh, Rossi pitted for fresh soft tires. Sportman has pitted for the fresh Inters. Oh guys, what an end to this race. We have 4 laps remaining in this Grand Prix. Will the Inters have the advantage? I think the last few laps they will. We're going to stay on board. Rejet is really close to Nerdy Average Gamer. He's still waiting. And they're going really struggling out of those corners. Rejet Jamahakovic is closing into Nerdy. Really struggling. Look at the track. It's getting really wet. Was the advantage of Rejet on the medium tires going to be enough? Oh, this track is getting more wet and wet. Look at the rain falling down now. So these Inters will definitely work. And I'm not sure if Rossi will have the... Oh, and Quina is pitting. Quina is pitting for the Inters. And Nerdy Average Gamer as well. And Rejet is continuing on the mediums. Rejet and Quina are out in front. Well, Nerdy Average Gamer and Rossi is still continuing on the soft tires, getting right behind Quina. And I think this is a very good choice for Quina to switch till the intermediate tires with a few laps remaining now. And Rossi is 3.4 seconds away. He's driving on those fresh off tires. But look at Quina, he is gaining and gaining. So this was a good call from Quina. But we all know that Rossi needs to stay within 12 seconds of time within Quina to have the opportunity to make the move on track by penalties. But if Rejat stays in front of Rossi, then we will have a not a driver championship being finished right now, because Rejat is only 25 points behind Rossi, and if he gets the win, then Rossi will stay in first, but not with enough points to claim the driver championship. So let's head back to some close battles. I don't think there are close battles, so we're going to stick at the front with Quina on those inters, definitely claiming some time on Rejat Jamakovic. 3.2 now, but Quina is on 17 seconds of penalties. That's a lot. Both McLarens, by the way. Both McLarens really struggling with the penalty situation. But Quina is definitely closing in now to Rejat, because Rejat is on the slick tires. 0.9 seconds. Can he get 15 seconds in the last lap on those inters? Will this be the moment for Quina to show himself what he's worth on those inters? Let him show him that those inters were the right choice. He needs 14 seconds till the end of the last lap to the rest of the field to claim the victory. Let's see how that pays out. We're staying on board with the current leader of this race, Quina, in the McLaren on the inters. 2.8. 3. Oh, Rossi gets overtaken by Sportmat on the inters. And Rejat still 3.5 seconds behind. And Quina needs to make up a lot of time. But he has the grip, and Rejat is losing his total grip now. Will we get an amazing race by Quina into the last laps of this race? He can still make it if the pace. He needs to double his usual normal pace now into the last chicane where Quina can go. Oh, Rejat gets spun, and Rejat definitely struggling. Let's have a look. The leader 10.4 will be enough for Quina to get the move and get the win. Quina 11.6, 11.7. No, I don't think it will be enough for Quina to win this race, but still, or will it be? I think it will. I think it will. Oh, Rejat is, oh no! Quina will get the win! Quina gets the win! Quina gets the win on track! Quina! No, Rossi gets the win! What? Rossi gets the win on those soft tires. Like what? Rossi gets the win and the driver championship in Tier 3. What an amazing performance from Rossi this whole season. What an amazing race from him on the soft tires, and picking up no penalty, which resulted him to get the driver championship. So everyone, congratulations to Rossi for taking that driver championship. And what a race this was at the Imola circuit. Quina in second, Rejat in P3, Sportman in P4, Nerdy Average Gamer picking up a great P5, and D-Mac in 6 in the Ferrari. What an amazing race, and what an end to round 11 of the Driver Tier 3 Championship Series. So congratulations Rossi for taking that Driver 3 championship. Congratulations, with 1 round to go you already secured the championship here. Really great from Rossi. Definitely the driver of the day on the softs. So my big congratulations to the Alpine driver Rossi taking the driver championship and winning the race in style. Quina in second, Rejet third, Spotman fourth, Nerdy in fifth, D-Max sixth, Emin Trucker 7, TGW in 8, Lunatic in 9, Brother Adam in 10, Nolan Mitch in 11, Connor in 12, and VTech has not finished the race. So thank you for watching, and make sure to tune in for the Tier 2 race at the Imola circuit in about 10 minutes of time on this channel. Thank you for